every bits and pieces of it. Overview lang tayo. Kasi I think you already had your... May subject na kayo, diba? So, you know everything about the different kinds of hotel, the classes, and the stars that they have. So, I won't dig deep na. So, the hotel is derived from the French word meaning hospital, which means a building. Seeing frequent visitors and providing care rather than a place offering accommodation. So, it's not just a building. It's not just an accommodation. A hotel is an accommodation, a structure, but the people there handles every visitor that come to their place with care, diba? With welcoming smiles, with happy smiles. That's it. Kasi if you're not gonna welcome your guests, it's not a hotel, it's just a plain building. City Mayor's office. Diba? Okay, next slide please. So, I have 7 key operational areas of the hotel management. Let's start with the executives. So the executives composes of the department heads, the managers or the directors, even the supervisors. They can be part of those executives. So these are the decision makers of the hotel. So they are the last resort of every front desk agent, every room attendants, whenever there are guest complaints. So sila lagi yung namumura. Kami lagi yung namumura. So we are the one who decides, who gives compensation, to make sure, nangungumusta sa mga guests, to make sure that they go out at the hotel happy, always, and all the time. So depending on how your company runs and the size of it, executives may be responsible for some of the other areas, including accounting, marketing, and at times, even front desk services. So sometimes we do back up, especially when there's short manpower. So we assist them. Most of the time, you're also seen at the lobby. Wala na, may kipag-chismis lang sa mga guests. Just to, kumustahin lang sila. How was their day? How was their stay? If they're enjoying so far, or if there are other things that they would like to recommend. Things like that. Anything and everything under the sun. Next is the front desk services. So, the front desk, what's a hotel without the front desk? Diba? They are the first person who welcomes the guest. They make or break the impression of the guest. So, the moment a guest comes in at the hotel, you should welcome them with a smile all the time. Greet them, give them a good impression. Kasi if they come in, she's in a bad mood, you're in a bad mood as well, what will happen? The entire stay, wala, sira. And you don't know if the person will still be coming back because you gave them a bad impression already. So, as a front desk, you are the main, kumbaga, ikaw yung front line. You're the person who, ikaw yung magdadala ng whole team mo because you're the first person that a guest approaches when he comes in at the hotel. These are people are constantly in contact with guests and they are responsible in handling bookings. So, one characteristics of a good hotelier or a good front desk agent is to be detail-oriented. I used to be a front desk officer for quite a while. My first job in the hotel industry was in Oriental, Leyte. But it was short term. It was short but sweet. When the first Oriental Leyte opened, that was way back 2012. I was trained at their property in Albay. So we were brought there while the hotel was under construction. And from then, whenever I let a guest check in, they would fill in something, a registration card, wherein they put all the details. So if you see a guest that's not too lazy, he would fill in everything, including the birthday. So I always look at the guest's birthday. Kasi who knows, maybe you check in because it's his first birthday. So that's what I always check. Until now, I still look into it, even if I'm no longer at the front desk. And then there was this one time, nadala ko siya when I was working already at my second job in the hotel, by the way, is at Plantation Bay Resort and Spa. It's in Cebu. So I worked there for 2 years. I started as a telephone operator, and then eventually I became a reservations agent, and then I transferred at the front desk. So nadala ko pa rin yung habit na yon of checking on the registration cards when I have during my spare time. And then there's this one time, this guest checked in because it's his birthday, but he didn't mention it. So I just checked and then he dropped by, and then I just greeted him, "Happy birthday, sir." And then he was shocked. So, how did you know? So, sir, I just know things like that. And then, that's it. I just made his day. He always smiles at me whenever he drops by the front desk, and he always remembers me the entire stay that he was there. So, those little things can change a person's life, and then that could give a good impact to him. And who knows, in the future, di ba, you were talking to an executive pala, or you were talking to someone who's a CEO. You didn't know, and then you tried to transfer, you apply for another job. And who knows, the person you greeted was the person who's interviewing you na, di ba? He would remember you. So those little details really can make an impact to a guest. Next, please. So, next is housekeeping. So, these are the other, ito naman yung mga bugbog lagi sa trabaho, especially we have turnaround, back-to-back na check-in. So, these are the people who maintains the cleanliness of the hotel, not just the rooms, but the entire hotel, from the facade to the back office, all areas, all critical areas, and they have the most critical job because when a guest check in, the moment she comes to our hotel and the moment he checks in, go to their room, it's like they give us the trust na whatever happens to their belongings, kahit mayroon tayong pa-waiver. At the registration card kasi we have disclaimer there at the bottom page na we won't be held liable if there will be losses or damages, ganon to their things or whatever. But then we try to... Nawala ako. That's it. We try to make them feel that they are at the right spot, na they're safe, that their things are secured. And then, these are the problem lagi kasi whenever there are lost items or items na na-damage, they always blame the housekeepers. So, kawawa sila actually. So, but I give high respect for these people. During my stay at Go Hotels, I was a duty manager, but I was the one assigned in handling the housekeeping department. And it's really hard kasi I see housekeepers, they always cry in front of me, telling me, "Ma'am, diri ko na gud kaya, kay busan naliwat ako guest, may nawawala hira." We have actually one incident. It was during 2014 when kasagsagan ng Tuhan Rehabilitation ng Tacloban because of Yolanda. So we have a lot of foreigner guests, mostly Army from the US Navy. And then he left the room sa Bogpa, and he wanted this room to be made up, limpyuhan ba, makeup room. And then he left a box of chocolate opened. And then these two housekeepers, they were cleaning the hotel, and then they found the chocolate on top of that bed. Kasi they never thought na bilang pala ni guest yung chocolate. Say, picked 2 chocolate. Nagtisting lahira. And then when the guest came back from work, he went down. He was complaining about his chocolates kasi there's 2 missing. And he was really furious about it, and he wanted the housekeepers, he wanted the housekeepers to be, matanggal, to get fired. And so I talked to them separately, and they admitted naman the fault na they ate the chocolates. So yeah, that was an isolated case. So I just told the foreigner na the Navy that we'll just take a look into it and we'll give proper sanction or we'll reprimand them, whatever those things. Diba? There are guests talaga na ganun. But then the funny thing is the next day, he gave us a box of chocolates para housekeeping. Diba? Funny. But then, yeah, later, naka-move on naman siya after that. So, these housekeepers, regardless of what will you want to take, you want to be a front desk, housekeeper, be a food attendant, you are all at the same level. So, please do not judge. Diba? Kasi sometimes nami-misquote just because you're a housekeeper, housekeeper ka lang. No. Kasi without housekeeping, who will be cleaning? Ikaw, front desk ka, you're in full makeup, you'll be going up to clean. Diba? You wouldn't want that. Diba? So, give high respect to these people. Next, please. So, next is the maintenance, or what we sometimes call the engineering team. So, they are the ones in charge of maintaining. If the housekeepers maintains the cleanliness, sila naman, they maintain everything that has to be maintained. Examples, electrical issues, we have problems with plumbing, we have problems with our fixtures, it needs repaint, tiles needs to be rebuffed, things like that. So the maintenance team is the one in charge of it. So these people naman, they also have a big role, especially during what the recent incident that happened at Linog. We had na date? It was in April, right? Yeah, last week of April. That's it. Nangibabaw na naman ang pagiging hero namin. We had a big group, like a really big group, kasi we had a convention of about 400 guests. So on that day, we are expecting a guest of 250 to check in. So good thing that they were cooperative. These were doctors, participants of Philippine Society of Anesthesiologists. So these were doctors who are from Manila, Cebu, actually nationwide. And then they were the only people who were inside the building during the earthquake. Kasi protocol, SOP, and they had to check every wallings, they have to check every room if it's still in good condition, if it needs rectification, things like that. Next, please. And next is accounting. So accounting naman, they are the ones in charge of tracking expenses and revenue of the hotel. Of course, at the end of the day, it's business. So they are the ones who audit. These are the people who check if we are gaining, kung may patutunguhan ba yung negosyo namin. So they are the one who's in control of all of these things. So they give us data forecasts, especially they're very useful to us and very helpful to us, especially sa sales department, because they are the